and welcome to the SHAC. My name's Barbara Gray from Clarity here in the UK, and as always, on a Monday at 10 o'clock, unless there's something else going on, we hang out together for an hour, we doodle, and and we keep each other company. So it'd be nice to see if there's anybody else in the building. I know our friend Paul Church is keeping us company. So if you have any questions, then he's your man. And other than that, I'm just waiting for you to rock up now. So let's see if there's anybody here. Chat. Yeah, no, not yet. But I'm sure you'll be here in a minute. I can see the numbers are ticking up. We always get to the party early, don't we? Yeah. So the kettle's on, and help yourselves to biscuits. They're in the kitchen. Good morning, lovely Ken. Great to have your company. Hi, Val. Nice to see you too. And Carol. And here they come. Yeah. It's a really good way to start the week, don't you think? I love it because Mondays, sometimes when you're working and you've got so much on your plate, sometimes you get a bit rudderless, you know, you're not sure which way to turn. And so for me on a Monday, it's easy because I know exactly where I'm going, what time I've got to rock up, and who I'm hanging out with. And I like that. So, yeah, so today, let me see, this year at Clarity, we're celebrating the year of the alphabet. And what better place than in the SHAC to develop an alphabet? And so we started at the beginning of the year, and we're just doodling along, creating letters, thinking what begins with which letter and what we could draw. So A for apple and angel. B, we did a really cool beach hut, didn't we? C for crown. And at the moment we're on crown. And we decided today we're going to have a little refresher on faux gems. Do you remember? Good morning from Michigan. Hello, Andrea. Are you in Michigan? I didn't know that. Yeah, so today we're going to do faux gems. And is the sound good? Sound is nice and clear. Thank you, Paul. Because we're doodling crowns, we've drawn a really lush golden crown, which I'll show you in a moment. And we did that on Thursday evening, didn't we? So, but let's let a few friends join us first because we're really early to the party. How was your weekend? Did you have a good weekend? The weather cheered up a little bit here in the southeast. What about where you are? Yeah, we even went for a walk yesterday. We went up on the forest. It was lovely. Lovely place, you know. Dave's got a lot of trouble with his knee at the moment, so we can't go far, but it's just lovely to get some fresh air, you know, and look beyond that horizon. Don't you find sometimes you just stare out even beyond what you're looking at, and it's just like meditation, really. It calms the mind immensely, doesn't it? Yeah, so we did that yesterday. What about you? And let me see. Yeah, yes, the Saturday TV. So we went up, Paul and I got up at a ridiculous hour of the night and went up to Create and Craft. And I had a couple of very, very, very busy shows. And I don't know if you watched, but it was it was like the good old days. We haven't had a show like that for a very long time. So that was pretty cool. Jumping about with Adam Humphries there. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I like those stamps. I like those stencils. I think they're brilliant. You know, I noticed that several people couldn't find the catch up on TV. So I was going into the Create and Craft app or online, createandcraft.com, and then I went to watch. Then there was a drop down, watch, and then you scroll down and there it is. And so what I was doing was copying the link and pasting it into Facebook so you'd find it. But it was there. I'm not sure why you weren't able to find it. Maybe I was just lucky. Hey, Barb and Adam were fun. Yeah, he's a nice fella. He's a nice chap. You know, I like working with him. And I have to say, behind the scenes, the producer, the camera, the floor crew, you know, they're top spec, like top banana. You know, they really, the unsung heroes, as they say, you know. So they were jumping about as well. Everybody was hopping about on Saturday. It was great. Yeah. So by the time we got home, it must have been about 8:30, something like that, by the time I took my shoes off. It was a long day. But it's, you know, it's what we do. I could think of worse ways of making a living, that's for certain. Yeah, but so Saturday was Saturday was busy, and Sunday was just a very and breathe. You know, I gave myself permission to have a day off. That's all right. It works well for me. So let me see. Yeah, we got loads of people in the building now. In they come, and we're going to be doodling a gem today, a faux gem. So I don't know if you remember. Let's have a look at what we're doing, so that you know why we're doodling a faux gem. If we have a look, you can see here we got a really cool C going. We added a crown, 2 different crowns we drew, didn't we? And then I showed you how to use the gold Posca pen and the paintbrush, and to get this really, really lush gold. I mean, really like gold. So we did this on Thursday evening, didn't we? So if you want to catch up, that's definitely on our YouTube channel if you want to catch up. And all we did, rather than colour in, we used, do you remember, it all flooded onto here. So you deposit some of this onto your mix mat, right? And then you use this really very, very good sable hair number 6 brush. Number 6 does all. Because it's got a nice point on it, top quality, you'll find, you know, really, I learned this from a watercolour artist a long time ago, you know, that number 6 brush, because of its shape, it can go super, super fine, and then it can flood really, it can get fat and thin. It's very, very good. Expensive, a very considered purchase, but definitely worth. I love it. So it was quite interesting to see the difference. And then I showed you shadow. We'll do a little bit of that. And then I thought, right, we need to do these gems as well. And then, of course, it was a general consensus was we couldn't remember how, because it was a few years ago now when we did the gems. Do you remember when we did these lovely flowers? And that's when we learned how to do this, right? And it's proof again. Look, here we go. So we did a round one, an oval one, and we just did the centers, didn't we? And it's proof of the pudding, you know. If you do this a few times, you know, it's like muscle memory. You just remember. But then you leave it for 2 or 3 years, and it takes a couple of efforts it takes a little bit more effort to get back into it. Good morning, Jane. I'm glad you're in the building. Paul's just told me you're here with us too, and I hope that all is well. Okay, I hope that all is well with you. And yeah, lots of love and healing energy, and it's all be fine. Jane's husband, I'm sure she won't mind me saying so, he's had a bit of a rough weekend. I'm sure that Colin will be fine. Okay, and lots of love and healing energy coming from us, Jane. You know, your mates. We're all circling the wagons here, and I'm sure Colin will be good. So it's great to have your company, and I'll speak to you after the shack, if that's okay. Now, let me see. Yeah, that brush, by the way, that I'm talking about, that number 6 sable hair, it is in the half-price member sale. Just saying. That's worth having a look at then. There you go. All right, so let's have a look. I thought we could spend the morning checking out these gems. And the episodes, if you wanted to go back and doodle the flower that we did, that was, do you know, that was in September 2020 we did that. Serious lockdown. And Paul's just told me it was episode 112 to 114 when we doodled all this. So that might be fun to look at if you want a little gem adventure. I had to honestly, I had to come in early and doodle a gem and colour a gem to remember, you know. So I had to look at what I'd done and then figure out, go backwards. So I didn't watch the video per se. I just looked at the artwork and then figured it out from there. Okay. So this is the one that I did this morning. Yeah. And I thought, yeah, that'll do. I know exactly. Same colour, same principle, just a different shape. And I was thinking, for your good selves at home, if you really wanted to get your head around this, just take a piece of, you know, one of our stencil cards, the little 3.5 by 3.5. Just take a piece of that, draw 3 different shapes, do 3 gems like that, different shapes, and then spend an hour or so doing 3 different colorways. Do a blue one. Pergoliners is all I used. Do a blue one, like I have. Do a peachy, orangey one. Yeah, that'd be nice. And do a red one, reds and purples. You know, give it a go. Or use your favourite colour, whatever you fancy. But I would say that if you wanted to get back into it and really enjoy it, you know, and maybe down the road a little bit, not today, but maybe when we get to D for droplet, we could try some water drops, couldn't we? Hey, we could wait for water if you want. Oh, there you go. Maybe that's a better idea because we were sick of gems by then. And the water droplets aren't that different. With the water droplets, it's more about the outside. I know. It's all good stuff. Okay, so what we're going to do then is we'll park this. We'll put this to one side because we're definitely going to put some gems in here. But let's first of all work out how to make our gems, right? So let me see. I'm going to hang on to that. So I've got a little crib sheet here. I've got a piece of that. I'm going to hold that one in place as well. I'll just keep these in here so we can keep looking at them. I was thinking that I really like this colour. Okay, so we'll park these out of the way for a minute. Okay, this is a proper simple doodle session. Okay, so all we need is a piece of that card, and let's have a look what we're going to use so that you can get it. You know, why don't you have a go? Hey, if you've got your pergoliners and a pencil and a piece of card, let's have a go. Even if you sometimes just watch, you know, see what you can come up with, or sit and listen and watch, and then have a go afterwards. Be good. It'll be good. I'm just glancing at who's here. I'm looking for Jane. Jane, are you there? Good. Right, so let's have a look. This is what we're going to use. So I've got all my bits to the side. I'll just grab it all, and then I'll show you. So the first thing, I'm going to use an emery board or a sandpaper, just if I need. Then I'm going to go with the blue colour to start with. So I use the light blue and the dark blue. These are the pergoliners. So I've got the B pencils here, B16 and B4. I've got an HB pencil to get the shape drawn. I'll use a green. That's green, not yellow. So I'm going to use B7. I'll do that one. What else do I need? I need an eraser pencil, pink, if I go over the edge, white, just cause. I need my white Posca pen to do the white reflection stuff. Excuse me, so we use one of those. And I might use the B6. When I did the veins, I did 2 lots of veins. I'd used a dark green because that looked quite nice. And then I also used a black B2, right? So it's all those. And then I'll tell you what else is handy, a blending pen. So we've got loads of those in the cupboard. They must be in the sale, Paul. Jane is just listening and watching today. I'm glad, Jane. I'm glad. It's good to have your company. Right, so now let's have a look. We need the blending pen, yeah? And a nib, okay? Because that is really handy just for smoothing out the colour. That's that. So you need a blending pen. And I'm going to just throw a white one in the mix, only because. And then these ones, see those colours there, they'll do for if we get to a red one. So I'm thinking I might put a ruby kind of colour in my crown. But I do like a teal. I do like a teal. So let's have a look. First of all, let's just draw a couple of shapes. And I didn't use a what are these called? A micron pen to go around the outside. I just used a pencil, okay? Just a bog standard pencil. So let's just make 3 shapes. Let's have a look. Right, so 3 shapes. I'll just go, I'm going to make one oval one. This is the one we're going to work on now. Then I think I'll do a triangle that's got soft sides, like soft corners, like that. That's quite nice for a stone, that kind of shape. And then I'm going to try one that looks like the one in my crown, okay? Because that's where I'm headed. The smaller, I think, actually more difficult. So I'm going to just go, I'm going to make one that's like that. That'll do. One little one. But I'm going to do them one at a time. And if we only get that done, well, happy days, okay? But you can see what I've done here. This is like, you could put that in the middle of a flower. I did put all that stuff over there. That's it. You put it in the middle of a flower. You put it on a crown like we're going to. It's nice to know how to do this, isn't it? It's nice to know how to do this. Yeah. So look, I mean, trust me, there are no experts in this building. I am about, the bus driver's about 15 minutes ahead of you, okay? I did that just before you rocked up. It's all right, I've been a busy girl. Busy girl. Now, let's have a look. So, we'll do this one. I'll leave that one there so that you see the development. And we need this in a minute, but not quite yet. We'll need it later. So what we'll do is we'll start with the lightest colour. Well, the lightest colour. Let's lay down that yellowy green, right? And then we've got the blue. So I'll put the blue down, the light blue, then the light green, then the darker blue. This is the way we're going to go, right, in that order. Right, so let's start with the light blue, okay? And I'll tell you what I will do as well, just because I'll show you how. Now that sounds really patronising. I'll show you how to hold your pencil. Sorry, I didn't mean that to sound patronising at all. But what you're going to do a lot of the time is hold you're going to be using the side of the pencil. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so for example, you can hold the pencil like so, and you can use the side of the pencil to get a really light colour. Yeah, do you see? I'll go slowly because I know that right. So you go really slowly like that. As you turn if you want it sharp, look, you're going to get that, aren't you? So if you want to just get a really lovely covering, then it makes sense to use the side of the pencil. If the pencil, if the pencil suddenly you feel, well, it's not giving me anything anymore because maybe you press too hard and it ends up getting a sheen on it. Remember, these pencils, they get like a sheen. If you just take an emery board or a bit of sandpaper, just rough up that edge again, and then it will go again. Just if you suddenly think, hang on a minute, it just doesn't seem to be giving me, you need a bit of tread, a bit of purchase. Okay, so let's take this one and let's just say there's an area where the light is hitting the stone that is going to be white. And let's assume that the light is coming from this area here, this side, and it's going to be about there. So we could already put like let's see if you can see this, or am I too, let's go in a bit tighter so you can see it better. How's that? Yeah? That's better, isn't it? So you've got that area there that's white, right? We could take our time doing this, can't we? So now I'm going to hold my pencil. I've got the side of the pencil working, right? And I'm going to, let's use the side of the pencil like that, right? And I'm just going to add blue to this side, just this area here. Let's just go in there like that. Let me get my other glasses on so I can actually see what I'm doing. Oh, that reminds me. So Pat Hosking funeral celebration is on Saturday. It's this coming Saturday. So Dave and I, because it's down in Cornwall, we're going to take off on Friday, and we're going to attend her funeral, her celebration. Okay, and so that means the SHAC. Let's just do this while I'm telling you. The SHAC on Thursday. I'll still be here, but it will be a craft along instead. I'll tell you a bit more about that later. So you've got that one layer like that of blue, yeah? And then just you're going to bounce back and forth between the different colours now. Right, I think I've gone too far on the blue. So let me show you. This is where your rubber comes in, your eraser pencil. The pink end, if I can take this out, see? So let me knock this back. See? If you ever think you've done too much, it's never a problem. Just take it back. Right, so now let me take my green B7 and I'll come in over the top, and I'm just aware of where the white area is still, right? So I'll bring in a little bit of that yellow colour. There we go. So I've got a bit of that greeny yellow. It's lovely, lovely lush apple green. See, so there it is there. And you kind of overlap it over the blue, but very lightly. You don't get that immediately. You build up to that. That's why it takes a little while. Right, so that's that colour. Okay. What was I saying? So we're going to go on Thursday evening. We're going to do the craft along that I promised that I was going to do on the Friday. Right, here we go. So what we're doing here is we're going round in circles like that. So that's the line that we're shading towards. And what I'm doing is I'm just hitting that line like that. So you could go along and then you just bring it out, go along. So you, in actual fact, when I'm doing this, I'm going in circles. See, I go along and then I come round and round and round and round. Okay, so it's actually, you've got choices. If you want, you can feather. So you can just hatch like that. See, feathering. Do that as well. I prefer to keep the pencil down and just keep going like that. It's entirely up to you. It's all about different colouring techniques, isn't it? And like I say, I am not an expert. I've just figured out a few tricks along the way. So I'm just using the flat. See, I've got like a flat part. I've made it flat. And if it's not flat, you can always just go like that. And then you've got a flat area. See? Like a chisel. Right, here we go. Yeah, so Thursday evening, instead of the SHAC, we can still hang out together, but instead of the SHAC, it will be a craft along. In other words, we're going to have a session using the Just Wheels and Wings set that we launched on television a couple of weeks ago. I'll show you in a minute. Let me just get round here and then we can have a look. Can you see this okay? Are we happy with what we're doing here? Right. Right, so now I've got another generation of blue, you see? And we're going around the edge here as well, because it's obviously got to have some sort of depth, otherwise it would be too flat, two-dimensional. So to get that depth, it's going to be darker around the outside, and then it gets lighter as it comes into the middle. Do you see? Right, let's have a look. So you just go around, build up. And this is the nice thing. If you overcook it and you think, oh, I've done too much, then you just take your pink eraser and you can knock it straight back again. It's never too, that's the lovely thing. You look, the Faber-Castell eraser pencils, you can get them pink, you can get them white. Pink is for pencils, white is for ink. White is what we're going to need when we do the craft along on Thursday. I'll give you a list in a moment, but let's just get started here. Now, another thing that I wanted to show you, right? Let's just get that colour in there. Just a little bit more depth down there, but I don't want to press too hard, because that's the thing. If I press too hard, then what will happen, I create like a seal. These are like polychromos. They're like oil-based pencils. And if you create a seal, then you'll find it goes really shiny. Let me see if I can show. I need my other glasses now. And then you'll see it goes really there. You see that shine on it? Now that is a seal, and it means that I'd struggle to add more colour to that without breaking the surface again. And what do I break the surface with? Well, I can break the surface with that eraser pencil. If I just go like that around there, that will break the surface of that oil. Or that one would lift the colour away if I feel it's too dark. But we're not there yet. Right, so what have we got? Let's go in with another. We're using these three: light blue, green, dark blue. I haven't advanced to the dark blue yet. I'm going to add a little bit more of that lovely green. Number 7, B7. Now, is my microphone making a noise? I decided that I needed to wear a scarf today to zhuzh out my top. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take it off. There you go. Zhuzhed up enough, I think. I love the colours in this. Right? I really love the colours. Look, it's really pretty. However, see, that'd be a lovely gem. But I worry that it's knocking at the microphone. So who cares whether I'm wearing a scarf or not? Done. Right. Okay. So back to the green. Back to me Dame Edna's. And then we'll start again. Okay. So a bit more green, right, in here. You can go over. You get a really lovely teal colour. I was in contact with Pat's daughter on Saturday. I think it was Saturday or Sunday. Saturday, maybe yesterday. And she, making arrangements for the funeral, the celebration, and we're wearing something bright, something colourful, and that's the instruction that Pat left us, that she wants us to wear bright colours, not black, nothing sad. It's a celebration. Anyway, and so I asked Sarah, the daughter, what was Pat's favourite colour? She said teal and sage. They were her two favourite colours. And I thought, right, well, I'm going to have a really good time trying to find something teal or sage to wear. I don't know if I'll find anything, but we'll give it my best shot. And this is really a little hurrah for Pat, because I know that she would really enjoy a teal gem, because it's her favourite colour. There you go. Always here. Now, let's have a look. So we're building up that colour, you see. And could we race through and do it fast? Yeah, of course you can. You could do this in a fraction of the time to how long I'm taking. But I'm just showing you the build-up and also tricks and tips, you know. When you rush it, it doesn't ever really... Why would you rush it? Why would you rush it? What, are you in a hurry? It's the process. It's the process that's delightful, isn't it? I mean, if this were a YouTube, I might speed it up a little bit. Do you know what I mean? I've watched paint dry with YouTubes, waiting to see some miraculous development, and then thought, now that's an hour I'm never ever going to get back. Okay. But this is a little bit different, isn't it? Right. And I had another little thought. I need to put a little bit more around here. Let me get my flat. There you go. Get my chisel going. Because I was I had another little thought when I was doing this, because I thought, come on, we've done this so many times, different things. When we're colouring in, you know how, oh, these glasses are so strong. You know how sometimes we use the white pencil, and you can use the white pencil as a resist, you know, so that you get texture. And I thought, well, it wouldn't hurt. It's not going to do any harm. Okay, if we put some veins in the gem with the white pencil, you're not going to see it because it's white, right? But it might give a little luster. So I thought, well, why not? So if you take your white pencil, just for the hell of it, let's try it, right? And you hold it now really at an angle, perpendicular, straight up from the page, right? Make sure you've got a good sharp white pencil. Have a go. Let me just, right, got two rubbers here. Got one that go E for eraser. What way round's that then? E for eraser. That one's been relegated to the eraser pencil. And this is the one for the, let me just sharpen that white, just gently, just bear with. There you go. Okay. Right. We'll hold it like upright, and then we'll just meander like a snail, going all the way around like that. Look, look. You can lift it up, go around. And we're just going to make those little marks. I mean, over this way on the darker side. Be interesting to see if it works, right? Because we're making little white tracks, or anyway, tracks of some description. There, let's give it a go, see what happens. Right, okay. Now we're back to our colouring in, shading again. So I'm going to go back, just bounce again. This time I'm going to bounce to the light blue again. So you now watch the green, see the green coming. So let's come in. How are we doing for time? Oh, we're all right. Right. So we're going to get some colour going here. I'm not going to rush it though. I feel all of a sudden, I think, oh, God, we're halfway through and I haven't even. But so don't start spoiling it, because that's what will happen. And like I said, it's all about the process. It really is. Have we done the dark blue yet? I need to get a bit more blue going up there. There we go. How is everybody anyway? Pat was an amazing and talented person with such a happy smile. Oh, yeah. And I will be taking you all with me to the celebration. Really, I think that's so important that we go in spirit. So I wanted to say, right, at 12 o'clock on Saturday, will you do me a big favour? If you remember, okay, on Saturday at 12 o'clock, light a candle, make a cup of tea, light a candle, and just join in. Sometimes you don't have to be there, you know. You can be there in spirit too. Okay, so if you get a chance, would you do that? And that'll be really cool. And I'll tell Sarah that you'll all be there. Yeah, see, that white pencil is working, you know. Quite good, this. Right, so let's have a look. If we're getting there, we're getting there, aren't we? It's not quite as dark as it is up there, but you can see now. Let's get a bit radical with that blue pencil. Let's get round here. Can I get that depth there? So now we're going to start bringing in that outside edge. Okay, quite dark. So bring that round like that. Now it looks a little bit bold, but so we've got our layers of colour now. Right, let's give it a go. It's never over till it's not over till you say it's over. But if we take our blending pen with our, let's see what happens if we smooth out these colours. Let's see if we can smooth these colours into each other. So we're going to go round, because we've loaded up quite a lot here of pigment. So let's get this colour going. See, circular motions, look, like that. Look how nicely this is blending. So we'll go round. It's good. We've got a really nice, where the light's hitting, it's very effective. See? So round we go. We'll put a bit more down, don't you worry. Put down as much as you like. See? Smooth out. The thing about the blending pen, what it does is it just pushes the... See that little white... Look, I don't know if you can see this. Oh, the little things that give you pleasure. See the little white resist line? I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can lift it up to you. See if you can see the little squiggles with the white pencil where it's resisted. It's cool. It's very cool. Right, there you go. So now we've done that, we could add, I just feel, let's have a think. Right, so now, I know I could go on and on and on, but I'm going to, let's put our veins in now. Let's put some veins in. We can always carry on afterwards. So I'm going to go with my green and my black, but I'm going to come in with camera 3, okay, because I'm coming from the top. So I'm making those little marks. You see the little marks now? Right. So we'll start over here. And let me see if this is working. I need to sharpen my pencil to get that real good. And then we're just going to go for a little meander. See if this works. That's it. Little meander like this. Okay. Start up here. Right. And then we'll just go. And don't overthink this, because it really is not. It's just gives the stone a little bit more, this faux gem, just gives it a little bit more depth, that's all, a bit more interest. Right, and I'm going to go in with a black one as well, so I need to leave a little bit of a gap or it'd be too busy. Here we are. I didn't do any pottery yesterday. I just wanted to hang out with Dave, to be honest. You know, I'd fully intended to do some pottery yesterday and get out in the garage, but then I thought, oh, no. When we go to the studios, the TV studios, Paul pointed it out when we were driving home in the dark. He said, you know, we drove up here in the dark, we're going home in the dark, and I don't leave that building while I'm there. I'm just in the windowless studio. It's like being in Vegas. Right? No windows, no clocks. Oh, there is a clock. Yeah, so I just didn't want to. I thought, no, I'm not going to stand in the garage all day. I want some fresh air, you know. There, that looks a little bit extreme, Barbara. I think you've done quite a lot there. But that's okay. It's a little bit more than there. But I reckon it'll look all right. Let's go back to this camera. Right, it's quite a lot, isn't it? But you can see it. That's the whole point. It's got quite a lot of crazing going on that one, Barbara. Right. Middle pen. It's a safe one, isn't it, this one? Right. Yeah, so it was really nice to get some fresh air yesterday and get up on the forest. I read something really fascinating a couple of days ago, and I thought, yeah, it was talking about walking on a sandy beach, right? And it was a really brilliant analogy, because it talked about walking on a sandy beach and how your impressions that you make in the sand are like events that happen in the day. Okay, So this happens in the day, makes a dent, makes a mark in the sand. Then that happens in the day, good or bad, makes a mark in your sand as you're walking along the beach, the day being the beach, if you like, you know, let's put it simply. And then all the things that have happened during that day, the tide comes in and it levels the beach, doesn't it? It just takes out all the marks that you've made in the sand. The same, and I think the point of the story or the analogy is that you leave what happened in that day. I've always thought of an Etch-a-Sketch. You know, you remember those games? You used to twiddle along and go that way, that way, that way, and then at the end of the day, I would look at what I've done, decide what I could have done differently, what I could have improved, and then I shake it. And then I go to sleep. This is my kind of analogy. But I really liked the idea of walking along a beach, and then that happened and that happened, and then you maybe had a fallout with that person, or you said something you shouldn't have said to that person. But rather than take it and put it in a sack and carry it into the next day, imagine you're just walking along a beach, and then the tide comes in and it just washes, flattens it, levels it. It's all gone, not a trace. And the water goes out, and the sun comes up, and your new day begins. I thought that was beautiful, you know? So there you go. Thought for the day. Now this time, let's have a look, because what I want to do now is I can always add a little bit more depth, and I will, but if you go around the outside of this, let's take our lead pencil now. So I want to show you a trick. If I go around now with my lead pencil, I'm getting more of a form, if you like. I'm reinforcing that line, aren't I? Okay. See, so I'm putting some lead down, graphite, if you like. I could put down, listen, if I wanted it to be really kind of grungy, I could use a really soft black, and then it will move much more, you know, much more. It will smudge. You can get pencils that really smudge, like charcoal and that, can't you? This is just a bog standard HB. But let's just lay down that lead like that. That'll do. So you're getting a nice depth now there. And let's take the dark blue, and let's just go in and nudge up on that edge. Let's go in on there now. This is nice. See how dark it's getting? And we're just adding the depth to that edge. Okay? I reckon this will be lovely. Round we go. As we come round here, this area, it doesn't want to be quite so dark, does it? So you're going to, not so much pressure there. There. If you go all the way round, then the light, it won't work. See? It's good. So you've got depth round there. You've got depth round here. Light hitting there. Not quite so dark. You can always add a little tiny bit though, Barbara. And if you put too much in, then what will happen is it will look more like a hole, like a, you know. Now let's take this and let me do this. I'm going to use I'll use a new nib to show you. So what we're going to do, let's start on the dark area, safe area. Right, and as we go round, this is where I want the shadow to be, if you like, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move over the edge. Look, see, as I move over the line, I'm smearing the graphite. See? Look. See how it's moving it? There. So as you go round, you get a really good, it's a really nice way of getting a shadow. Look, a drop shadow. Effortless. All you're doing, you go along the edge, and as you go along the edge, you push the lead into the white area. Do you see? So it's a real easy way. And the blending pen is brilliant for that. Blending pens, are they in the sale? Yes, they are. Yeah, sale ends at midnight tonight. So this is the last day, really. And please be patient we're going like the clappers. I had a word with Sue this morning, and I told her, don't stress. That's the last thing I want. And I said, if anybody's really aggressive or rude, give me their number. I don't pay my staff. I don't pay my team to put up with that on the phones. Okay. So if I ring you, you know that you were a little bit too aggressive on the phone to Sue. Just saying. I won't be aggressive. I'll be kind, but I will ring up to find out what the problem is. Okay. Yeah, I will, because they got way too much going on here, to have people shouting at them. Hasn't started. Don't get me wrong, it hasn't started yet, but it does every year. It's as sure as bears sit in the woods. Okay. And you know what? The irony of it is, nobody in the shack would ever behave like that towards Sue or our team. Never. So I don't know why I'm even telling you, because it's never going to be the case. But do us a favour and just be patient. We're working as hard as we can. There you go. Can't do it all. And it's a great offer, isn't it? It's a great offer. If you want to join in that's another thing. If you want to join in the craft, see how it's coming out now? Look at that. Look, isn't it great? So I haven't actually had to add any colour, I can use my finger, to the outside. It just comes by itself, look. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? This is looking good. It's a little bit extreme on the old veining on this one, though. Looks really a little bit too much. I wonder if I can knock it back a bit. I know what I could do. How about the white pencil? I bet that would knock it back a bit. Wouldn't that do? Would that work? Okay. What about if I do this a little bit? Yeah, this is going to do it. That will knock it back. Knock the marks back a bit. That works. See? That's why I didn't use a micron pen. Okay, cool. Right, so we've got our shade. That trick works a treat, right? And you can go in with your black pencil if you want and really lift that edge. The darker that line, the more that will pop. You can make that, it's just fun to do as well. Right, there you go. Now, let me just put that to one side for a minute, because what I want to do is just talk about the craft along, just in case you want to join in, because there's loads going on this week, but the craft along is this. So because Thursday, no SHAC, because I'm going to Cornwall on Friday. Okay, so I've got to move what was planned on the Friday, which was the craft along for this set. I'm going to move that to the Thursday to our show, because I know that there'll be a big overlap. Loads of people in the shack will also be wanting to do a craft along. Okay, so I want to let you know what to bring if you've got this pack and you want to join in. This is what you're going to bring, because a craft along is great, because we actually craft together. You can get your stuff out, and then but you need to know what you need. Otherwise you'll be up and down like the proverbial yo-yo. All right, so let's have a look. This is what we're doing. The just width, you need, obviously you're going to have that, aren't you? Let me pan out a little bit so you can see it better. That's it. Right, so let me tell you, you're going to have that. That's what this chair, I am going to throw this chair in the skip after right. Then we've got the stamps. So these are the stamps, wheels and wings. Really nice. So you've got the layout die, the stamps, and then you've got these tea infusion papers. Right, so this was all the stuff that you got in the set when you invested. If you still fancy, if you haven't got this, but you fancy it, if you order it today, we will pull it out of all the sale stuff and fast forward it to you. We'll make sure you get it by Thursday. It will go out today. Okay, that's okay, isn't it, Paul? I'll go and give Sue another hug. Okay, but this is the stuff that you're going to need. So you could take a screen grab if you like, but these are the ingredients if you like. Okay, black archival ink pad. You need that to stamp. A white eraser pencil. That's this one. Pergoliners. These are the pencils that we've been using today. Pergoliners. Okay, need them. Cloud masks. So you've got the cloud masks in the woodland set. If you haven't got them, don't worry. Just bring a pair of scissors. We'll make our own mask. We'll do it ourselves. Okay, but if you've got the cloud mask, bring them to the party. If you haven't, then just bring a piece of copy paper and a pair of scissors. I'll show you how to make your own cloud mask. Right, set of 12 polychromos. The only reason I say you need these, okay, is because you want those greys for the shading. Okay, you want the greys and the blacks and that for the shading. You know what, though? I just showed you a trick with an HB pencil. So if push comes to shove and you haven't got those, don't worry. Just bring a pencil and we'll work with that. Right. Then you need your card blanks. 7x7 or 8x8. Yeah? 7x7 or 8x8. Just card blanks. You know the ones. Because we've got to cut the die out of it, haven't we? Right. Then you need the white Posca pen, which we're just about to use to put the highlight on the gem, right? So the thin white Posca pen, and then an A4 self-adhesive sheet. If you have a piece of self-adhesive double-sided sheet, you know what we sell. If you've got a piece of that, I'm going to show you how to make a fantastic, how to change. We're going to do a couple of cards, but I want to show you a trick. Okay, if you haven't got it, don't worry. But I'm going to show you a trick with that one. Okay, so screen grab, that's what you're going to use. If there's anything you want so that you can join in on Thursday evening, order it as quickly as possible after now, and then I'll make sure that Paul and Sue and Jilly, they pull those out and we get them out today. Okay, so that'll be fine. So that'll be the SHAC, will be the craft along. And then what we'll do is I'll get our Jim to roll that out again, because there'll be a load of people who want to join in the craft along from the TV audience that aren't necessarily shackers. So we'll do it live together on Thursday evening, and then we'll roll it out as a pre-record on Friday so they don't miss out. I'm cool with that, and I'm sure you are too. So that's that. And while we're on the subject, let's talk about what else is going on this week. Just let's talk about that, because there's a lot going on this week. And what I'm going to do, Paul very kindly, he typed it all out for me. What would you do? Everyone needs a Paul. I'm telling you now, right? And Paul says a downloadable ingredients list will be available later today on the Moments of Clarity section of the website. Okay, maybe Paul can add that link so you find that. Now let's have a look here. This is what we've got going on. Tomorrow, Tuesday the 13th, Groovy Tuesday with Paul, 10 a.m. Okay, Wednesday the 14th, Groovy One Day Special with Paul on Create and Craft, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. He's doing a double launch. 2 hours, and then 9 p.m. Yeah, there we go, 2-hour launch at 6. Cool, that's very good, that one. Right, Thursday, so that ODS, that One Day Special on telly, rolls into Thursday, and that'll be Paul again, 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Love the continuity. Okay. Then Thursday evening, I'll be here, craft along with Barbie, at 7 o'clock. Paul's going to stay up in Peterborough. There's no point in chasing all the way home, just come back again. Friday, we're going to repeat the craft along. Okay, but that's a record, because we're going off up to Cornwall, aren't we, to join Pat and the family. Okay, Saturday, 2 things going on. Paul's got 2 shows. Get groovy again. I know. Paul, what's going on? Paul's got another 2 shows at 7 o'clock in the morning and 11 o'clock in the morning. Groovy for all our parching addicts. And then on Saturday also, Deborah Wheeler is back in the building. So our Deb, she'll be on at 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock with some beautiful stamps again. Linda Williams, she's taking Linda Williams stamps out of the cupboard and is going to put her magical spin on it. Now, the SHAC is back on Monday the 26th. So that's not the Monday after next weekend. The reason being, we're travelling back from Cornwall on the Monday, so that's not going to work. And on the Thursday next week, I'm also I'm up in the TV world because I've got a show on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. So I've got to get up the evening before. Travelling gently, okay? So we, the Shackers, will get back together again on the Monday after, which is the 26th, yeah? And that day, we will start the day with D. D for something. D for... Everybody thought dog, didn't you? Come on, hands up. Who thought D for dog? I don't know why. It's just the way it is. D for dog. Come on, we need some suggestions between now and the end of the hour. I mean, D, come on, D for... I thought, I was walking in the across the forest with Dave yesterday. We were talking about this because that's what you do. Dynamite, D for dynamite. D for donkey, here we go. D for dancers, cool. And Dave said, what about D for dragon? It's the year of the dragon. I said, dragon? They will drop their custard if I say we're going to draw a dragon. He goes, I don't think a dragon's that difficult to draw, is it? I thought, well, that's easy for you to say, David. D for David. D for dragon. And I said, actually, I was thinking more along the lines of Daisy. Yeah, Bernie Hayes. And then daffodil. That's where I went. Daisy, daffodil. And he was going along through the forest going, dragon, dragon, dragon. So D for Dave. You want to draw Dave? A dragon would be great. Well, dragon. It's the year of the dragon. I've got enough time to practice the dragon so that we can deconstruct it. Could be fun. We could do a dragon, make it look like a kite. It's the Chinese New Year, the year of the dragon. For our Welsh friends, they'd love a dragon. You know that. Look, love a dragon. Here come all our Welsh mates. Yeah, love it. D for dormouse. Oh, I love a dormouse. Dragon, dragon. I think it's a dragon, isn't it? Dragon, and we could try a little dormouse as well, peeping out behind the D while the dragon flies past. Yes, dragonfly, Sonia, love a dragonfly. That could be a compromise. Going to Chinese New Year. Are you, Thelma? Really? You go to China? Wow. D for duck. I have 3 Welsh dragons. What are we doing then? Dragonfly, dragon, dormouse. Well, the jury's out, friends. But you know what we're doing anyway. Now, let's go back to our darling gem. Right? There you go. And now let's have a look at this bit, the last bit. I mean, you could get darker. Look, you could still get darker. But the basics are there now. You know how it works. You've got the light. The last finishing touch is with the Posca pen. So if you were to take a pen, let's do it with a pencil so you understand. If you bring it right down the bottom here, it's not quite true, is it? The light really is going to hit about here, isn't it? Before it goes down the side. Thelma said, not China, Worthing. Oh, okay. I was going to say, that's a long way to go. Worthing on the south coast. Oh, Thelma, I love you. Good. Well, I could even join you there. So what we're going to do is add a line. Let's say you could use a pencil to kind of, because the light's going to hit here and it's going to come across about there, isn't it? Let's say about there. That's going to be about where I would say the light's going to hit. I always find this bit the most difficult bit. So if I make a line about there, okay, and then a gap, let's make a gap about there. Is that about right? See, if you don't like it, you got listen, if you're quick, you can move, you can get rid of it pretty quickly, right? So there you go. You get rid of it. You can do it with your finger if you're quick. Right, didn't like that. So let's go again. I think the gap's in the wrong place. I'm going to put the gap there, right? And then I'm going to come down like that. There's that. Then we're going to bring that round like so. That's more like it. That's more like it. Couple of dots. Yeah. And I can use I can make that, I can sharpen it up, see? Look, see, you can get in there. You can use your finger as well, but you can use the blending pen really nicely because it gets kind of a shadow going as well because you've got a bit of black on there. Right, so you get a bit of shadow underneath, which makes the white pop. It's all good stuff, look. Right? And then you can bring that round. There. And if you want to add a bit more white, you can intensify it. There. And if you want to put a bit of white up here, right, let's just put a bit of white up here as well. I'm going to put some there, like that. Subtle, not much. There, I like that. Boom. Sorted. Right, so your homework, friends, see, and then once that's dry, I can go back in, I can add some more depth around here, I can get it much darker, I can add my dark blue, I can make the drop shadow come out more. Yeah, you can still add more depth if you want, but I think that rocks. There you go. Okay, so there's our faux gem. We've hit nearly 11 o'clock. Your job is to practice, practice, practice if you want to get good at those, and then add them to our C for crown. Where's my lovely crown picture? Here it is. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm hoping to see loads of C for crowns and lovely gems. I'm going to transfer this into these holes here, and then I'll post it on our Facebook page, Clarity Worldwide. I think that's the one to go to. Okay. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for joining me. I don't think I've forgotten to tell you about anything. Like I say, don't forget, light a candle at 12 o'clock, please, on Saturday, and just think happy thoughts for Pat and her family. Okay, and all good wishes for Jane. Yeah. Thanks. I bet it's nice to have a bit of normality at the moment, Jane. I'll give you a bell in a minute, darling. All right. Lots of love. Have a great week. Don't forget Paul. He is having his marathon this week. So join in and cheer up. And don't forget, last day of the sale today. I think we switch it off at midnight. So you've still got plenty of time. Go easy. Bye-bye now. And Thursday, craft along. Bye-bye.